Well, hello there, everyone. How are you? It's been a little bit since we've gotten together to do a little bit of Destiny videoing, but now's the time. So many of you probably follow me on Twitter. Some of you probably don't. I'm also aware many of you probably don't tune into the streams, so I wanted to make a video for YouTube as well. The basic point of this video is I will not be participating with my team as usual in the world first race during Beyond Light. Now, I know that there's a lot of stuff going around in the community. People are like, I want to boycott and I want to whatever because cheating. And I think that's not smart. But that's besides the point, and it's not what's going on with me. I just wanted to bring it up and address it because I'm sure some of you in the comments, that's going to be like your first little go-to. Also, first time I've been in the tower in a very long time. As you'll notice, I'm not even max power yet. Oh, God. So here's what's going on. I have an autoimmune disorder called Crohn's disease. I've talked about it on stream before. I've talked about it you know, on Twitter, on YouTube a couple of times, I'm sure. But basically the way Crohn's disease works is you have a set of problems or problem areas, and your body reacts really poorly to these things. It can be diet, it can be exercise, it can be lack of sleep, it can be increased levels of stress, or basically everything that you would expect going into a world first race, then followed by a 24-hour stream. So it's a big old mess when it comes to things that would bother my Crohn's disease. And here's the rub. Basically every world's first competition that we participated in, that would be me and the rest of the guys at the My Dad is Bungie. Basically every single raid race that we participated in, I'd say post I probably starting with Forsaken. Every time we competed in a world first race, I spent about 2 to 3 weeks dealing with really bad symptoms, which, if you don't know what the symptoms are, it's diarrhea, extreme abdominal pain and cramping, and those lead to a whole bunch of other things. It can lead to vomiting, malnutrition because your body stops absorbing nutrients, which has happened to me a few times. And then, you know, like in the worst case scenarios, you get to lose a little bit of your intestines, or you get to shit in a bag for the rest of your life. Neither of those options really sound that awesome for me. So I thought I could be a tough guy, and I thought that I could, you know, push through the discomfort and all this other stuff. And I have in the past. I'm just here to tell you that, you know, ultimately, that's a fucking terrible choice. You know, every time I've done this, I've rolled the dice with doing potentially permanent harm to my body, and then sort of acting like it's not a big deal. The reason that I'm sitting out this time in particular is because this is the year I decided to start actually paying attention to my health and not ignoring it. We've had to do a few emergency medical interventions for my Crohn's this year, and none of them were great. They were all pretty awful, and I'm still in the middle of getting a whole bunch of testing done to make sure that what's going on is just pain and just Crohn's and not something more nefarious, which would, you know, obviously be a pretty negative outcome. But I wanted to share this with you, and I wanted to be open and honest, and I wanted to let you know that I will be putting my health first. I'm making this choice for me and to take care of myself. It's not motivated by anything else. I hope that if you're looking for a takeaway from all of this, this could encourage you to make the difficult decisions that you might need to make in your life to take your health seriously. I obviously am making that choice right now. It's not fun. It's very hard. I'm gonna miss raiding on day one and solving the puzzles and being there and being involved in everything that happens during the world first race. I'm not sure what I'll do for content that day. I might end up playing Cyberpunk and then just watching it on the side. Or I could do air traffic control for our team. I have absolutely no idea. But the bottom line is I'm still going to be covering Destiny content during launch. You should see a lot more content on YouTube because that's when I tend to put out the most stuff. We've also got a new system. I'll be uploading community highlights from each of the first 7 days of Beyond Light streams. So I think that'll be really fun. You'll get to see my videos and then the shit that chat thought was interesting the first 7 days. And the editing might be terrible on those, by the way. But it's not about the editing. It's about you getting to experience what chat thinks that you should experience, YouTube. And if you don't like it, you can always show up and use the system that we're building to make better highlights for yourself and show all those Twitch people who's boss. So that's what I've got going on. I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, you know, participating in the world first raids all the way back to Vault of Glass until now has been an absolute joy. Raiding with the team has always been a bright spot in my year. And, you know, hopping in there with the guys and trying to solve all of the puzzles was, you know, it was something to look forward to every year. But things change alongside of all of the Crohn's stuff. There's another reason why I can't do what I usually do, which is just sit out or, you know, basically like sleep and stream 4 hours a day for 2 weeks afterwards to recover. And that's, you know, 5 years ago, we got world first for King's Fall, right? We got our little belt back there, little belt guy. 5 years ago, there was no such thing as GCX. We hadn't raised $13 million for St. Jude yet. We hadn't started King's Coast yet. There was no, like I said, charity marathon. There was no GCX event. There was nothing. And in 5 years, we built GCX, multi-million-dollar charity event, which I would consider two separate activations because on the project management side, they definitely are. Rare Drop, which is producing, like 5 podcasts a week and a whole bunch of original D&D content right now. We're also looking at doing a whole bunch of really new and interesting things in the future. And we have King's Coast, which has been growing at an alarming rate, and partnering with some really cool people like Achievement Hunter and most recently Ruby. And all of that takes a lot of attention. You know, we're trying to run things a lot more efficiently at Rare Drop. I have a lot more responsibilities at Rare Drop than I used to. You know, it used to just be fun company that we got to do fun, silly things on so that way we could work with St. Jude for the event. And now it's, you know, legitimate business that requires oversight and a lot of focus because we want it to grow. We want it to be what's next, and we want it to be the thing that we can use to feature, you know, voices other than our own throughout our content. So I'm really looking forward to that. I've taken on a very important role for all of our companies by managing the marketing for all of them. And so, yeah, I can't really sit out 3 weeks of participating in a business that I'm in charge of either. So that's what I got going on. Thanks for listening. If you made it all the way to the end, I appreciate you listening to me babble and run around the tower and look at all the pretty decorations. I love you and I appreciate you, and I'll talk to you next time. Peace.